facilitating the work that we want to progress. And as every one of my colleagues said, if it wasn't for the Cork Cancer Centre and the support that you have provided for it, we wouldn't have met this week and had not had the opportunity to discuss and develop new forms of collaboration, which arises every time we get the opportunity to discuss our work together. I'm going to be very brief. I'm not going to use any slides, but just to take on the point that was made so elegantly by Dr. Deiseroth, we aim to develop a strategy for making the immune system recognize tumor cells in the same way it recognizes a bacterial or viral infection. And we do this by taking genes that are required for the tumor cells, if you like, to establish a dialogue with the immune system, to say that they are supposed not to be there and they are therefore bona fide targets for destruction. And when I started out this work about nearly 20 years ago, in maybe a bit less, but around 1994, my nightmare scenario was that what if, in fact, cancer was the product of some blind spot in the immune system that could not be rectified? And the point being that it could not be rectified. We do know, as Dr. Deiseroth said, that certainly cancer incidence increases with age, the immune system becomes less efficient with age. But the point was, is this inefficiency something that can be reverted by immune stimulation, or is this an irreversible state of affairs? So what we and others, a strategy and a understanding to which Dr. Deiseroth himself has substantially, repeatedly contributed to, has shown that even in cancer patients, it is possible to persuade by vaccination the immune system to recognize the tumor and to attack the tumor. And the greatest joy in this work has been the demonstration that not only the immune cells are capable of killing the cancer cells, but if you like, the reverse of that coin, that cancer cells are killable by the immune attack. And having demonstrated now for a very large number of cancers that this in fact is the case, in our lab, the work that my colleagues and I are involved with at King's College in London, we're trying to do this for a particular form of leukemia. And we are using another one of these nasty viruses that have been tamed. We are using a virus that was originally based on HIV, because it is particularly well suited to infecting the cells that we want to be infected. And we are in the beginning of a series of studies which we hope will result into this form of treatment becoming another component of the armament in fighting against cancer. And I just want to say that the story that Stephen Russell just told you about, the arduous, painful process for developing something from the clinic, from the laboratory into the clinic, and eventually a product that can be available to everybody, is just as bad now in UK, in Ireland, and in the rest of Europe as well. So it really is a phenomenally difficult process, but of course necessary, and one that does yield. Please stay resourceful, stay faithful to the cause, and I'm sure between us we will eventually get there. Thank you.